Uh. You know the vibes? Dope boy, get the dough. Never ever been a hoe.
Heard about that.
Got to go to the podcast, cause we gotta drop another show. Gotta go and get the bag. Coming quick on your ass. Gotta go and then smash. Do it quick, real fast. Got my nigga CT. No, they can't see me.
Can't see you.
Matter of fact, SAC shout out my boy BT.
Hey!
Kingsley. That's my dog for life. Tony Chantel one day she might be my wife.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Cut it. That was fire, bro.
What's up, playboy?
Living 7 Saturdays, baby. How you?
Hey, man, I'm loving life. I'm in a really, really good mood.
Say word.
Yes.
I heard it off you. We literally did not talk.
We didn't talk at all. There's a lot of things we got to talk about. But before we start,
oh my God,
I got to get this out first, and it's a reason, and you're going to see the reason why.
I can't wait.
Swole Cold, we usually wait a few minutes and get rolling, but today we can't wait. Are you ready for the new nickname alert?
New nickname alert.
The Pacific Doshin. You know why they call me the Pacific Doshin?
Why, Doughboy, do they call you the Pacific Doshin?
Because once these waves come in, I'm finna be swimming in hoes. Come on, man. I worked hard on this. You see these damn waves? Swole Cold loves it. This guy gets it. Come on, man. You see these waves?
I see your hair.
You don't
I see the waves are coming in.
Yeah, because I just started. I've never been able to get waves.
Really?
Have you ever had waves?
Yeah, I had a lot. I've had every hairstyle.
You've had. I do remember you having waves.
Yeah.
You had waves when I've never been able to get them.
The fade waves, 360 waves, the fade waves when you got it real short, just on top. Of course, the fro, mini fro, locks, braids.
I've never been able to
Bald.
get waves ever. And so this is my new mission in life, to get them. I did 738 brush strokes to the
That's
front.
hilarious.
So, yeah, I thought that you would have got more of a kick out of my Pacific Doshin. I thought that was going to be the best one
You
yet.
rushed it.
Swimming in the hole.
You rushed it. That wasn't something that you should have rushed. You should have literally let it build.
You're right. I should have. But I had the hood on, and I wanted
You're
to
such
take
a
it
rush,
off.
man. Here's the funny thing. I'll tell you how to get waves. Also, crispy cut.
Please tell me.
The way you get waves is a wave is a relaxed nap. So the way that you get waves is you should have let your hair grow a little bit more,
Okay.
and then brush them in. So by the time your hair, you already got the thickness. So now you got your waves.
So then when you cut
can
it down, and then they'll just be there?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try to get this to happen. I think that I have a complex because this girl I used to talk to back in the day, she had told me about her ex-boyfriend, and she had basically told me, she had already told me that he was packing more than me, and I didn't like that.
First, wait a minute. Wait a second.
I didn't like that.
Who leads with that?
That's what she had told me because, like, we would smash this back, like, when I was, like, right after I had graduated from high school.
Okay.
And I had knew who her ex-boyfriend was because we used to be cool. And she had just told me, she was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, once we finally smashed it, she was like, yeah, you ain't really working with as much as him. I was like, bitch, I don't care. Why do I want to know that? So she told me that.
That hurts my feelings.
And so there was really not much I could do about that,
Yeah.
but just live with whatever, God had given me.
Let me tell you something.
So
With all due respect, I know I am blessed. I also know that I don't have the largest situation in the world. But I'll say if a chick sees something bigger than me, she's a whore. Like, these are just facts. If you see something bigger than mine, baby
you've
girl,
seen a lot of that.
you out in these streets. You
But so
understand?
that's what she had told me. She had told me that he was packing more than me. So I
Yeah.
always felt like inadequate in that way. And then she was just like, she used to be like, yeah, he's able to get waves. So I'm like, I can get this. And so then I had like tried to get waves. She'd be like, yeah. And I remember like trying to brush my hair for Al. She's like,
For
yeah,
her.
well, when he tried to get it, his waves would come right in. I'm like, bitch.
Why is she not with him still then?
I don't
Did
know.
you ever ask her that?
No, because I was still just trying to get her. And she always made me feel inadequate about myself. And 22 years later, I'm like, that's the secret to life. Get waves.
Here's the thing. You 42?
41.
Man.
Oh, okay, I was a little bit off on the math right there, but yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
41. I'll be 42 in August.
Well, yeah, okay. So, yeah, you'll be 42.
I got a gray hair in my beard.
Here's the thing, man. Let's go back to the girl.
Okay.
You were friends with her guy?
We were cool.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm so glad you said that.
Okay. What?
All this shit you've been giving me.
But no, I didn't take her from him, though. You took her from me.
I didn't take her from you.
Was you?
You and I were cool.
I was in love with her.
I happened to come upon an opportunity.
Right. And you took it.
Had to.
Okay, but with his situation, he was just with her,
Uh-huh.
and then they broke up. I didn't have nothing to do with them breaking up.
Did they break up, though? Because what you said sounds as though he might have left her and she still wanted him because she wants you to do everything he was.
I did always feel like a Walmart version of him to her. I always thought that because he rapped too. Like I was just, yeah. I think it
Did
was
they ever
just
get back together?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she ended up like later in life. I seen her. I was like, "Whoo, a
You
bullet
dodged the bullet.
I dodged."
You never want to be the guy right after the guy. That's
Yeah.
the rebound of life. You want to be, if a girl that you want breaks up with a guy, then she gets with another dude. You want to be the guy, two guys after the rebound.
2 guys after?
Because if you're the rebound guy, it's a wrap. You're going to get compared because she just got out of that.
Really?
But if you're second after the next guy after the rebound, then it's a fresh slate.
But see, I disagree because I'm always really anxious. So I don't want to give it too much time to breathe because what if she goes with the next guy and then he ends up sweeping her off her feet and then they be happily ever after?
Then she was never meant for you.
You're right.
Yeah, man. It's like, you got to think about it like this, bro. Women and men alike, when we get out of relationships, we have to truly be cleansed and start over. And a lot of times people don't be wanting to start over. They be like, "Nah, I want to just get in right now because I wanted her before she got with the guy." And now you end up not rapping as good as him. Your situation ain't as big as his, and apparently your hair ain't wavy as his.
I'm gonna get these damn waves though. You know what I heard? I heard that and you can tell me if this is true. When you had waves in your day, did you put a wave cap on and then get in the shower and brush over the waves?
First of all, no. Number two,
somebody told me that.
In my
Slow
day,
Cole, I thought it was stupid.
This was 6 months ago.
And
that I had
older than
waves.
you did?
Yes, I've had listen, when I cut my locks off, I cut a skin ball, then I grew my hair back, and I had my waves, and then I was like, you know what? I think I might just, because I didn't even want to have locks. I wanted to have braids. So I was like, let me just grow my fro out. And then I just got the fro and then braids, and then I cut it off again.
Maybe you could be my wave coach.
I'm not.
Come on, it's a doable thing.
Stop looking at Cole.
I
He's
need his
a white
approval.
man. He's never had waves. He doesn't even want them.
You know what I just realized
What you
when
realize,
you said that?
What? That he's white?
No, I know. No, he is white to the
He is
like
white.
lily white.
Yeah.
But like how you were
Not
saying
the lily.
when you had said that you had all those different hairstyles, I just realized that you have the kind of head that goes with a bunch of different. I don't have that kind of
You
head.
don't.
When if I go bald,
It's a
like
wrap.
niggas be like, yo, they be walking around me like, like my.
How do they walk around you?
Hold on, no, I don't want no problems.
I don't want no problems.
So I don't have a head, and I don't think I have the head or the face for dreadlocks. You pulled that off.
Thank you. I have a universally round head, so I can do a lot of stuff. But your head is specifically dope for shortcuts. I can see you with a fro though.
No, I don't.
You've never grown a fro? You get your hair doesn't go anywhere.
No,
You're 41 and still got it on.
People told me I used to look like Shirley from What's Happening. Now you can't unsee it. I'm telling you, it's a fucked up
With a
situation.
fro?
Yes, I look like Shirley from Good Time. I got the round face. It's not
Shirley from What's Happening?
Yeah, for What's Happening. So yeah.
Ride your fries out. They need to get the. All right now. She was really cooking back there. It looked
really
like she
was.
was really working there and was not an actor.
She really was. That show was fire. They need to bring it back. Didn't they try to bring What's Happening back?
They brung back. They did What's Happening Now and with a young Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence was in that?
Martin was on What's Happening Now.
Really? It didn't go so well. They had
No.
that one light-skinned lady. It was just like.
I'm glad it didn't go well because if it would have went well, who knows if we'd ever got to Martin show.
Wow, that is a fact.
Yeah.
If it would have been like a correct spinoff.
Him,
Or
that
reboot?
show for him, or if he would have got on in Living Color because he didn't get on Living Color.
He tried to get in Living.
Yeah. And
Whoa,
he
whoa,
didn't
whoa, whoa!
get it.
Stop! You're not just
Yeah.
gonna skadooch past
Yeah,
that.
that's a smooth salute.
Wait. In Living Color had the chance to have Martin Lawrence on
Yeah.
their cast, and they told him no.
Yeah. He didn't get it.
Really?
Yeah, he was still. He's to this day he's still tight with all the Wayans.
Right,
and
but
Keenan
that's
and all of
just.
them.
I wonder how much doper it would have been with a Martin in the fold.
It wouldn't have been dope, and I'm gonna tell you why.
You think so?
Turn my headphones up some more, Cole, or the mic up. It just still sounds low, bro. Let me get a. What if he's not touching? He's just doing this to make you think he's touching. Yeah, I got it all. You son of a
You're
bitch.
right. I don't hear nothing. Now I do it for
Yeah,
real.
you got it. No, he's on to me.
Oh, you mean business?
Let me tell you something, bro. Anytime I hear the phrase, "Oh, you mean business?"
It's gone past just. You know what it is.
Oh, you mean business? Because it
Get
goes
that
with
right away.
every scenario, bro. If you in the room, your mom be like, "Clean the room." You start hearing the footsteps. Oh, you mean business?
Yo, she said, she for real.
So look, this is why it wouldn't have been dope if Martin was on The Living Color.
Okay.
Martin Lawrence did the Martin show where he had complete control.
He did.
Where he got a chance to do everything that he wanted. He got a chance to show us how he his strengths and all his characters.
Mm-hmm.
On A Living Color, you don't have that control. You're pitching these ideas, and even though it's not the man that you're pitching to,
Right.
it's still Keenan Ivory. This is his vision,
Right. And
So
then
if
you
he's
had
like,
and then you had Damon Wayans over there. You had Tommy Davidson. You had
you're not
David.
gonna get as much shine.
Wow.
Imagine if Martin Lawrence would have debuted. Imagine if he'd have debuted Shanae on A Living Color before Jamie did Wanda. Wanda would have never happened. Imagine if Martin would have debuted Otis or Jerome, which is my favorite guy.
Or Dragonfly Jones.
Right.
Dragonfly Jones would have kicked. That would have, man.
So much so to where, what if he'd have pitched those and they'd have said no? Now he's like, oh man, I guess it's not fun. You begin when you're dealing with somebody you look up to, and they tell you, nah, you really get a little bit of, oh man, maybe I'm not good enough.
Oh, that would absolutely make you question yourself.
Yeah, man.
Especially like your idol or somebody that you really like came up looking up to.
Yeah.
Wow.
If he would when I first got around Martin, man, first of all, shout out to Ray, Ursula, Rob.
He
Tangerine,
just had a birthday recently,
Yeah,
right? You posted the
yeah.
picture. Wow.
Yeah, but it's like first getting around him, I tagged one of his jokes, right? Like I went to go see him at the Comedy Store 2015 and shout out to Bentley. And I get there and I tagged the joke, right? And I go to Rob, which is his brother. I was like, hey, Rob, is it okay if I write a tag? He's like, oh, yeah, we like them. I'm like, oh, bet. Give him the tag. And he's like
With the straight face?
like it's a drug deal. Like, it's like,
put the glasses down like,
it's all there. All right, cool. So he gives the joke to Martin, right? He gives it to him, and literally the next day, like Rob hits me like, "Yo, come through to the office," right? I go to the office. And Martin is like, he comes out his back area, and he's like, "That was funny, man." And I was like, "Right,
right."
Imagine if it wasn't funny.
Whoa.
Imagine if he came up and was like,
Get the fuck out.
yeah, he showed me. You know what I'm saying?
That's always very, very fascinating to me with you in particularly. You're one of the funniest people that I've ever been around. Not just the fact that I know you.
Yeah.
Just one of the funniest niggas in the game.
Thank you.
But it's always so funny to me that you still to this day get nervous when you pitch people jokes. Why is that?
I get nervous when I pitch people I'm fans of jokes. If I'm not a fan of you, hey.
No, because I've seen you when you shoot. Because I first seen it with John. When you was trying to pitch a BBC.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, yeah. You were just like, nah, man. You don't really. This guy gets it, but you got to.
Because here's the thing. So ladies and gentlemen at home, we're talking about a sketch series that we started called BBC Big Black Cops. BBC unit, right?
You can't even get through ever saying it.
Because it's so funny to me, bro. So it's me. So if you saw the first 2 episodes of it, it's Doughboy, it's myself, it's Ja, Big Ja, and I'm pitching everybody the idea, and everybody's just like, all right, cool. And then I get to Ja, and I'm like, and he's like, all right, and I'm like,
no, wait.
no, I'm not saying something right. And then this happens, and he's like, all right, and I'm like, oh my God, because I'm not good at pitching things.
Right.
I'm only good at, I promise you it's going to work, but I can't sell you on this.
I felt bad because I had sent you an idea for the BBC, and then you had sent me that, like, you texted back, like, oh, man, this is funny, but then you didn't shoot it. I was like,
well, we couldn't do that there. Think about what you wrote.
Yeah.
I couldn't do. We were shooting in an apartment, bro. I'm supposed to get an interrogation room. I'm supposed to get an interrogation
I really be in
room.
my feelings. I'm like, I ain't pitching this nigga shit, man. This nigga think he all that. He just
think he
all that. Nigga think he all that. Nigga be kicking it with Martin on his birthday. Now he can't just give me subjective criticism.
Who is still saying all that? He think he all that and a bag of chips.
I was literally mad for a minute, and then I had to let it go.
But you know what's funny, man? Your track record at reading text messages is not good. You get angry quick.
I'm here about feelings.
Man, I'm like, that's not how I meant it. Oh, okay. I was driving. What? I had no idea. But that all goes to say, I don't get nervous when I'm pitching things to people that I'm just like, all right, cool. But like if it's somebody I'm a fan of, it's like, oh man, I hope they like it. You know what I mean? Like at this point,
bro. Like, I'll listen. I'm gonna tell you one of the most difficult times in my life. 2016.
Okay.
When we were both consulting, on Wildin' Out, and when we were coming up with so much stuff that got told the hell no. That was her. That can do something to your psyche.
We got to
for
tell
real.
the people what you're talking about because this
Okay,
is
so
inside
Wildin'
out.
Out. Okay, so Wildin' Out. Basically, I had got to come on one season. I think it was 2016. I got to come on as a creative consultant. So that's basically where you come up with games, different things.
Shout
like
out to
that.
Niall Evans. Shout out to Nick
Niall.
Cannon.
Yes. Yeah, shout out to Wildin' Out, the whole
Yeah,
show.
man.
Got it on. And so we were like, we would stay up super late, like super nice in a row, and we would come up to what we thought was comedic gold, and we would turn some of that stuff into Niall, and nigga be like, nah.
Yo, let me tell you something. Niall Evans.
Jesus, it make you.
Niall Evans, who is my ultimate big brother. I love
Absolutely.
this guy.
Big
Niall
bro.
Evans. Okay, I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna just show you. Pitch me something, and I'm gonna be Niall.
All right. So I got this incredible idea for a buddy.
Get to it, bro. Get to it, bro.
Okay, we're gonna get Eddie Murphy. We're gonna put him in Los Angeles. He's gonna come. He's gonna be a cop. He's like cool.
It's not funny.
We can call
It's
it
not
Beverly
funny.
Hills. But I
It's
kind
not funny.
of niggas just leave with
Like,
their whole
what?
face on the floor. But he be right.
He be right.
I ain't gonna lie. Like with first meet, I would never forget. Like if you could ever make Now do this, hilarious,
Woo!
nigga. That was
You in the game.
bigger than an Oscar to me because he was always so. I would never forget the first time I really made him laugh. He was just like, "You got one, nigga." I was just like, "Thank you, Niall."
Bro, Niall be so stone faced,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
So we would be in the writer's room. So Dad Stop Embarrassing Me, which is on Netflix right now.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx.
Shout out to Jamie. Portia.
Portia Coleman. Natalie, so many other
Yes.
our friends. My point of bringing this up is Bentley Kyle Evans is show running this with Fox, right?
Nice.
So Bentley Kyle Evans is Niall Evans's uncle, right? So I got a chance to be in a writer's room for years with Niall and Bentley, right? You really want to pitch to Bentley
Right.
than Niall.
Really?
Yes, and I'm going to
But
tell you why.
Bentley is higher up on.
Listen,
Okay.
Bentley loves comedy. So,
Right.
but here's the difference. So Bentley, if you pitch some bullshit to Bentley will make you feel good about the bullshit,
Oh, so he'll like
but you're not gonna get it.
constructive criticism.
Niall is gonna be like, it's not funny. Yo, you want me to tell you, or you want the audience to tell you? And you be like, I don't know anymore, right? So I would be in the writer's room, and I saw how Niall would be, and I was like, hey Bentley. So let me tell you. Both times bombed, but at least this guy made me feel better.
At least you can feel better about yourself.
But that I appreciate now because that did make me a stronger
Right.
creator and writer and performer.
No, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
wanted to shout them out too, because even when I put this on today, because I was, going through, figuring out what I was going to wear. And then I seen my Wild 'N Out sweater, and I never really just wear it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's different because when I first got on the show, I used to wear it all the time. I got it tattooed on my arm.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to just give a shout out and just show some positive love and energy to not only Niall Evans, but also Nick Cannon, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think that he really gets enough credit.
He doesn't.
For the impact that he's had on the comedic game. Like, from when they first started Wild 'N Out, because I know you were there. Did you ever see the original pilot?
The
of
original
Wild 'N Out?
pilot, no.
Okay, so there was one season where they actually let us see that, and they shot it at the Comedy Union. It was like this whole big thing, and so just for Nick to like put out the show early 2000s and give us so many stars like the Afions, the Cat Williams, the D. Ray Davis,
The list go.
Corey
Holcomb.
Holcombs, all these guys, right? Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
They all came through there, and they were all making noise collectively on their own,
Yeah.
but they weren't on TV in
Right.
front of, America. Then the show took a little bit of hiatus. Then they come back, and then they, I was able to be a part of that, blessed to be a part. Then you get the Carlos Millers, the Chico Beans, the DC Young Flies, and it's just been going on for like 15
Tyler
years.
Chronicles.
All these dudes.
Darren Big Baby.
Come on,
Doughboy.
Emmanuel Hudson's, like
Yes.
all of these
Oh,
dudes.
Emmanuel.
Bro, and
Justina.
Matt Rife, like all these people, like
so it's too long. We
you're
can't
right,
name everybody.
but it's just so dope that even after all these years, he's just the same nigga
Yeah.
though. Like even if you ever see Nick, he never on no Hollywood shit. I just want to just shout them out, man, because I owe a lot of who I am, not just by putting me on a big show, but I learned so much comedically, like just to be able to learn how to take a joke and have fun. So shout out.
Let me tell you
to
something.
those
Nick
brothers.
Cannon. Shout out to
Geniuses.
Nicholas.
Yes.
I love Nick Cannon. Nick is the epitome
Mm-hmm.
of when we mention kings of comedy.
Yes.
You honestly have to mention Nick.
And I don't know why he doesn't get mentioned more.
I'll tell you why.
Please tell me why.
Because
it infuriates me.
Nick got into this rhythm of, which is the most brilliant thing to do, when you're on a show like Wild 'N Out, is Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out. Nick Cannon is wealthy.
Yes.
He's a handsome cat, hella balls. He's got abs. The girls like him. He's got success after success.
Yes.
This is easy to hate this guy, right? But it's even more lucrative for people to make fun of him, and he takes it.
And that is such an amazing skill to be able to do that, to be obviously the richest person on this, but to be so humble and so approachable that you take the butt of, like, it's really a skill.
It's a skill.
And like now
never took it personal.
Now taught me a lot about that. Like he would always tell me, like, "Doe, like you taking this too serious, you looking at this the wrong way. Everybody can't get a bail. Somebody's got to get a buzzer." And it just actually taught me how to fail the right way.
The way you fail is, okay, so we'll take something like the Roast Me show that you would do.
Right.
When you would be on Roast Me, I didn't tune in to see you say something funny about somebody. I tuned in to see how you reacted. And that I can remember so many more moments of how you reacted than any time of where you saying a joke that was funny, because you're such a likable guy.
Right.
It's like somebody said, you'd be like, shh. He got the wildin' out shirt on because he wildin'. And then everybody say something to you and you be like, you know what I mean? Or just like a doughboy response.
Absolutely. And that's like, I'm telling you, bro, like that's what I learned from them. And that's a lot of the flavor that I brought to All Def. So a lot of like even the stuff you see on All Def, it's really influenced by Wild 'N Out, because even like on shows like Roast Me, a lot of times you're on there and a lot of people just go in and say the funniest roast. I'm like, a lot of times I'd be on there setting people up for jokes and they don't even know it. We would do the same thing on Great Taste. And that's what I'm saying, like their fingerprints on the culture is so big, and to hear that, like, you know, they're still shooting the show. The show is back. I'm so happy that the show is back.
But Nick, and it's like, man, and the dude is so nice. Like I said, man, rich,
real nigga,
got
bro.
everything that he could ever want. But he's doing this show to give a platform to the people who don't have that look, that can be something. Like we wouldn't know 80% of those people,
so many of these
if it
people
was not for Nick Cannon now on Wild 'N Out.
And let me tell you that the reason why what they do is so dope.
Yeah.
You know, because they didn't just go and start cherry picking people with big numbers. Like when I got cast on that show, bro, I literally had like 2,000 followers. Like I didn't have, but they gave me a shot, and they're still doing that to this day. And I just think that that's just.
But how many shows, and this goes right back to a Bentley, because it's like, yo, this dude plucked me from obscurity, just doing regular stand-up joints, and was like, yo, this dude is funny. He didn't go for he doesn't have these 10 years of TV experience, or he's not a household name. He was just like, yo, he's funny. Now, he's funny. Nick, they're funny. And
that's what the game still needs, because there's too much politics in the game, but there's still certain individuals that will give you the opportunity. Let me ask you one more question on this, because I just want to know just how your psyche was. How is your psyche walking in? Just walk me back to whenever you got that first opportunity, because I remember we were still talking around the time, so I remember the time. But when you're walking into a room knowing that you're going to be able to work with Bentley Kyle Evans, a nigga that was responsible for bringing the world Martin, how did you, and you're Clayton Thomas, you're CT at the time, but you know what I'm saying, but you're not who you are now. How did you go in there with enough confidence to be like, I'm gonna contribute here, even though I'm here around the people that I look up to and admire? Like, how did you even put yourself in the mental frame to go do that? Because I think I would shit myself if I was able to do that. So how did you
here's the thing.
Put yourself through that?
Here's the thing. One, I never thought that I wasn't just as good, right? So when you look at, we talk about Martin, we talk about Bentley Kyle Evans, Jamie Foxx, if it was not for this combination, I wouldn't have been inspired watching Martin. If it wasn't for this combination, I wouldn't have seen the Jamie Foxx show. I wouldn't have seen how a sitcom works, me falling in love with a sitcom, comedy. So these things, I was raised by Martin and Jamie Foxx and Will Smith and Queen Latifah and Monique and all these people. And it was like they always preached, believe in yourself, follow yours, go for yours. You know what I mean? And there was never a doubt in my mind that I wasn't just as good as them. I know we're all different generations, but you can't tell me, you couldn't have told me at 20 years old that I wasn't going to be a household name, because I saw and see a future for myself, right? So going into that room, was of course you're nervous because you're like, oh man, this is the shot. But it's also that moment where you get a chance to be like, yo, I belong here. You just didn't know me before I walked in the door, but now you're gonna see why I walk around with my initials on a chain, or you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's
like,
just, and that's so dope that you can do that, because I think sometimes when you have that level of confidence, it can come across as arrogance. But it's like you always got to tightrope that. But I don't believe having supreme belief in yourself makes you arrogant. I just think that it makes you ready for the game that you're going into. Because if you don't believe that, how can you ever do it?
Respect and rest in peace to one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen, Kool-Aid out of Detroit, King of Detroit.
Rest in peace.
Kool-Aid used to say this quote.
Okay.
People call me arrogant when my confidence meets their insecurities.
Say that one more time. You hear that? You see him? He was just nodding his swole cone.
People call me arrogant when my confidence meets their insecurities. And it was so much, it was bars, because I grew up, before I say I grew up, my mom and dad taught me a certain way. Ever since maybe elementary school, kids used to be like, why you walk like that? You walking with your chest out and all of that. And I'm like, I didn't notice I was, you know what I mean? He got all the confidence. He think he this. Like, you know, people
think he all that.
He think.
Even back then, they said it.
And they were saying that in the 90s. So it's like people say that to you when your confidence threatens them, right? So as a kid, my parents always told me, keep your head up. Don't nobody know how much money you got in your pocket. You walk around like you belong. You walk around like you believe in yourself, right? And I just always done that. No matter how broke I ever was, I just knew that it's gonna get better. You know what I'm saying?
And that just it brings me back to a golden time in my life when you and I had first met. Because what you're saying is absolutely true. Because I remember when I met you, I remember the first time seeing you at Touch of Class, I was just like, this nigga is so funny. It was just like, it was just so effortlessly. And then like, even when we got to chopping it up and like becoming friends and we was at that IHOP and you were already in LA and you were younger than me. And at the time I'm 26 and we just talking about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just remember just the conversation and you just had that level of confidence that was just so dope. And then it bled on to me, because even when I came to you, like asked you, like, man, I'm thinking about it. You was like, hey man, just quit talking about it and just do it. You got to go down. And I was like, well, I'm gonna move to Lancaster. You was like, no, you're not. You're gonna go out there. I did too. You know what I'm saying, for the first couple of months, and it was just that confidence that you had that was contagious. That made so I seen you believing in you, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna believe in me too.
Here's the thing, though, boy. You got to remember this about yourself, bro. So, okay, this is BT Kingsley's room, Touch of Class up in Sac.
And Oak Park, and Touch of Class is in Oak Park, one of the roughest neighborhoods in the city. So, yes, he had the bangingest room in the roughest neighborhood of the city, and you had to be funny.
Don't let me forget the story about me almost getting beat up there. Okay. So this is BT Kingsley's room.
Okay.
He's showcasing the hottest comedians in that area, right? I see you. I see Meal Ticket. I see Rico. I see
Aunt the Hustler,
Darius
rest
Monday.
in peace.
I see Andre Bailey. I see there's a young lady
from Sacramento?
Yes. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Anyway, so I see all of you guys, right, killing it. But you see a Doughboy, and Doughboy is not only doing comedy. He gets on stage, he looks like a star. You might have been you still had a fresh face. You might have had like the two-piece and a biscuit, the mustache.
The two-piece and a buck beds.
And a little bit on the chin, right? So
two-piece and a
biscuit. Because you know a biscuit is that. And then you got a so anyway, so you see Doughboy get up there with the twinkle in his eye. He's not only doing comedy, but you start rapping at the end of your show, right? And I was like, this is okay.
Came out of the shirt at the Hot 400. No one made me do it.
Nah, that's confidence. I wasn't taking my shirt off.
And then was looking at people for looking at me crazy. Like, what? You ain't ever seen titties? Titty it?
Oh, this video ain't getting monetized. So I see that confidence, right? But what I see is you had 5 minutes. In the first 3 minutes, no, maybe 2.5 minutes, you do your stand-up. And then you go and you do this parody song, Blame It on the Food.
Shout out Jamie Foxx.
So I see you destroy, and I'm like, this is what you see in theaters. This is a show.
Really?
This isn't just a set. So I'm telling you, I'm seeing you stand out amongst everybody that I saw perform, right? Outside of BT and because Rico's on a different
Rico, woo,
planet.
monster.
But my point is, it's like you were doing these things and you were a brand new comedian. So when me and BT and you go to the IHOP and you're like, yo, man, what should I do? I'm like, you're a star. All you got to do is get out of here.
You're like, get out now.
Get out of here, bro.
Then you gave me the CT stimulus package when I moved out here.
Bro.
Took me around and they be like, hey, man, 3 more months, I'm going to let you go in a while. I'm like, yeah. You'll always be around, Dad.
You know, you'll always be around, Dad. Let me tell you
really
why.
Let me go. So I was like, bye-bye.
When people got to LA, new comedians, I would always try my best to show them around because so many comedians have given me so much that I have to give it back to another comedian. That's just how, the scale stay balanced.
Right.
So I had to tell you, I'm like, look, man, I'm taking you all these places, but I'm going to let you free in a while. And the reason I said I was going to let you free is because, one, I don't want you to get too comfortable with me to where you don't, to where you aren't grateful or whatever.
Right.
And two, you're going to start, it's kind of like when boys and girls become teenagers and you start smelling yourself to where then you start getting to like the competitive mode where it's like, oh, Dad, I can beat you, right? So I knew that if I kept you along with me, there was going to be a point where you'd be like, that ain't funny. I'll do this, right? So, because I've seen it before. I'm like, he got about another month before he started tripping.
But I take my shirt off.
You understand? So, but you were always a star, bro. And it's like, believing in yourself is half the battle. The other part of, and Tangerine has this quote, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Say that one more time. I know you felt that one too, Swole Cole.
You feel it, Cole. Hard work. He starts snapping his fingers. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Ooh.
So what that means is, how many comedians have you met that been like, man, such and such ain't funny. I'm the one that need to be up, blah, 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 blah. But you're not a hard worker, bro. If you were hard working, you'd be there. It's never offended me first of all, you can never say somebody's funny or not funny because comedy is subjective.
Right.
It's like you could love Eddie Griffin and this person could love Seinfeld.
Right.
You're both right.
There's
Nobody's
no wrong.
Exactly.
It's a subjective art.
But so you look at someone like Kevin Hart. First of all, they love to build you up to tear you down. So Kevin Hart builds himself up. He becomes this guy that we're all rooting for. He gets there. Immediately people start saying he's not funny. It's like,
I never understood. Why do you think that we do that? Do you think that and I think that there's a connection of that and people trying to cancel people.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like that's the consumer's way of saying, no, I'm going to control what you do? Because I don't understand how anybody could dislike a Kevin Hart. Like, I've met the guy, I've seen his comedy. Yeah, like he promotes positivity. Like, yeah, like, he's not a perfect guy, but none of us are. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see where the hatred comes from. Do you just think that once the masses build somebody up, they feel like they have the right to tear people down for just minuscule reasons?
People love an underdog and a comeback story. Nobody ever likes seeing a guy on top. Wow. Ever. They want to see you. Come on, man. That's all I drop. They want to see you climb because you came from nothing. Oh, look at Doughboy. Oh my God, this is amazing. Bitch, I want to see how people treat you when you get abs.
Bro,
That's the difference.
There is a correlation in that, and I'm telling you, bro, because there was for a long time when I was just when I was bigger and I was just kind of like the laughing stock, like everything was cool. Then once I started losing some weight, got a bad chick, then it was like, who's this nigga? So I
think he is.
I definitely have seen that.
He ain't funny no more. They gonna come up with something.
Oh yeah, and you know that's a fear of big people. That once we lose weight, we're not funny no more. Like, nobody ever wants to feel like Jonah Hill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you lose weight, or even like Melissa McCarthy, like, people lose weight and then people be like, you're not funny. That's such a fucked up thing to make people feel.
Well,
I felt like that many times.
And you're going to feel like that. It's because you still see yourself a certain way.
Right.
And anything, first of all, nobody likes change. So when you change, you're not adjusted to the change because you haven't been able to get comfortable with the change. You've been person A way longer than person B. So that's why it's like when you lose weight, you immediately be like, let me just start eating again so I can feel back like myself. No, you got to get back to the new person.
I'm glad you said that because I came up with a theory recently.
Give it to me.
Okay. I came up with a theory of why I act certain ways in certain situations. I believe that once I get to a situation that I fear, I must run to it or it will chase me. And what I mean by that is the reason why I started acting irrational once I started actually getting back into losing weight again, because in the back of my mind, I don't really believe that it's possible. And that scares me. And so then I just go back to just doing dumb stuff, eating whatever. And so what I've learned is I have to put myself in those fearful situations so I can take them head on. I just learned that about myself last week.
Yeah, you got to sit in it, man. It's like the person that a lot of people say, oh, I want to be this. Do you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, really think about who that person is, what that person does when they wake up, what that person thinks when they have idle time. And it's like, I know me and I know what I can handle. And it's like, I would like to adjust some things, you know what I mean? But I like who I am. So, but with the building of Kevin Hart as an example, they love to see you come from nothing. They love to be able to say, hey, I knew with this person when. And then when they get there, now they're faced with this person's successes and their own failures. So now the hate begins. And then once that person gets knocked with some adversity, now that person, these people are like, oh, well, I ain't want that to happen to the person. And you get the people that's like, man, that's what he gets.
Exactly. People that be happy to see bad stuff happen to you.
Those are the most hateful people. Perfect example. Well,
I don't know. I still want to hear the story about how you almost got beat up at touch of class.
I didn't like how you pronounce beat. Anyway, it was too much emphasis. I want to hear how you got
beat the fuck out
beat up on.
Beat your goofy.
Beat your. So touch of class. Okay, touch of class. BT's gone.
He wasn't there?
BT is my security blanket when it comes
BT
to
have saved a lot of niggas from getting beat up.
So now Andre's hosting, right? Which is still my homies up there. We got Tris, we got Rico,
Shout
like
out
the
Tris,
squad is still up there. And we got Lance, he's up there. So I'm performing, having a great time, and there's this like, I wear glasses.
You do be wearing glasses.
Just remember I said I wear glasses. So I'm performing. I don't perform in my glasses because the lights hit it. I don't like it. So I'm talking, and there's this.
Can you still see when you're up there?
I can see people, but I can't make out faces.
So you're just up there performing, and it's blurry.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Because the lights are on you.
Takes dedication.
I see the people in the front row, but if you're like 4 rows back, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I just see bodies. So I'm performing.
Be a dangerous setup. This is you can't see who you're talking to, nigga. I wouldn't say shit. The fuck?
So this person is talking in the back, and I'm like, come on, fam. Hey, bro, could you stop talking, man? The king's up here. That's what I'm saying.
But okay, before you finish your story, and I don't want to cut you off. You do have this thing about you when you talk.
Yeah.
It can make a nigga want to feel like a little, because you talk with that authority in your voice, so I can see how a nigga can feel. So you like, the king is up here, and then what happens?
Yeah, and also when I say the king is up here, please don't think that this I'm referring to myself now.
Right.
I was 23 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was cocky as all dog get out. And I thought my shit didn't stink. I thought all of my jokes were gold, and you should be blessed to hear them.
You tripping if you're not laughing.
That's how I used to say. I literally would say that.
It's got to be y'all.
I'm extremely humble now. Please subscribe to everything that I'm doing. Anyway, I'll pay my taxes. I need some more money. So I'm saying, hey, my man, like, come on, bro. Came up here, just keep it down.
Chill up.
And then dude yells out, "You ain't funny." I'm like, brother,
first of all, these are lies, but
come on, man. Like, I would give that to you if the people weren't laughing. Let's take a note from them and fall in line. Right? I say this the way
because you be talking that shit.
Because as a performer,
right,
if you don't believe what you're saying, they won't. As comedians, 90%,
say that one more time to all the up and coming comedians.
All upcoming comedians, if you don't believe in what you're saying, the crowd won't, right? Yes. So 90% of the material that you're saying as a comedian is trash anyway. It's the 10% of confidence that you put behind it that makes people believe in it.
Facts.
Like, if you recite one of your favorite comedians' jokes and you tell somebody like, he said this, 10 times out of 10, they're not gonna laugh. They'll be like, oh, that's what's up.
Guess you had to be there.
Because you don't have the confidence to deliver it that he did.
Boom.
It's like we're salesmen. So it's like you have to sell a joke.
Right.
So anyway, I'm just like, bro, they're feeling the vibe.
Shut your goofy head.
Shut your goofy head. So he's like, man, I'll beat your ass. And I was like, yeah, I bet. And then he got quiet. But he got quiet, but he just started looking at me, right? And I'm like, and
you can't even really see.
Yeah, but I see these eyes.
But you feel them eyes.
Right? But I'm in the middle of I got 20 more minutes to this. I got 20 more minutes on the stage. So now I'm like, hey, Trish, you still here?
Oh, Dre, yeah.
Dre, and they still there. I'm like, cool. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get on there to get up out of here, man.
I said, fuck this 20 minutes.
Trish said, "We got you. Ain't nothing wrong." I'm like, cool. I get off stage. I put my glasses on.
And you see the threat.
I see the dude that I've been talking to this whole time is a woman. It's a stud lesbian.
Oh.
And let me tell you something. I could have beat her ass.
You think that you could have?
She had that hardware for sure. But I was like, yo, I could go back up there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, let me get back to my shit.
Man, but it was this woman, and I was like, I got to get stronger. I got to keep my glasses on. Because I thought it was a man, bro. The aggressive voice and the way that she delivered, and, you know, all respect to her because she ended up being cool after I got off stage. And she was like, yo, you was funny. I was a little salty that you called me out, but you did your thing. I'm like, Tristan Dre was about to walk me to my car. Like, I was so scared. But for me to have mistaken,
walk to your car.
I had to get back to LA. You understand me? I am a star. I needed to get back into the TV.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, this has been going great. We haven't touched anything in this damn docket
but
yet.
What was the other thing? We said we wanted to talk about that. We talk about the story, about how much I beat up in sack, and it was something. It was.
I wanted to talk about also how important it is to build your own lane in this game because your story is super special. Hold on, I got the docket right here.
No, it's not on the docket. We were literally talking about it, and we were like, whatever. Keep going.
Okay. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. Swole Cole, can you play that first audio clip? This is something that a man said on a television show the other day, and I want to know what your thoughts are. Go ahead, play that clip for us, brother.
Out of the car to open your door or to meet you at the door or to ring your doorbell when you could just walk downstairs. I am not opening your door. You're getting 4 letters, H-E-R-E. That means I'm here. That means come outside. And that means when we go, like whatever our plans are, we're going to go do what our plans were set to do. I'm not getting out of the car to open your door or to meet you at the door or to ring your doorbell when you could just walk downstairs. Honestly, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I personally believe, and this is just my personal perception on me and my friends and all the females that we have dealt with collectively, chivalry is almost dead.
Now, how do you feel about that,
Thank you for
brother
asking me.
CT?
Well, first thing, of course he's not opening doors for other men because that's who he's dating. Come on, fam.
He wanted a nigga?
Come on, bro. You ain't got to open the door for other. I don't know how it works in that community. I could ask a couple of the homies I got, a couple of homegirls, but I don't think they have to open the door. But when I'm looking at that, it's like, bro, come on, man. You dating men. If you're telling me that in your honest opinion, you think chivalry is almost dead, chivalry is nowhere close to dead. You're looking at chivalry personified.
Come on.
I am married to a beautiful black woman.
Come on,
that
talk about
I
it.
love
I'm
opening
engaged to
doors
one.
for. You're not engaged. Dope boy. You keep saying this shit.
I'm going to say it till it's true, nigga.
Like a marriage license is gonna appear. Where's the paper? I could have sworn. Bro, I'm married to a beautiful black woman that I love opening doors when we go out for. I love making sure that she has everything that she needs. I love paying bills for her. I like keeping a roof over her head, paying for food, all of this stuff. Because this is what I've always aspired to be. I was raised by an incredible man, an incredible woman that taught me that when you are out with a woman, you treat her like she is special. You opening doors, you pulling out chairs, you're making
walking
sure
on the outside of the.
you
when you're
walking
walking down the
outside.
street.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm always on. This is why I got lucky with Tangerine because I don't like walking on the outside of the street.
Right.
Tangerine likes me on her left side, no matter what. I don't know what her thing is. But she like
Really?
me being on the left. So if we walking on the street, I'm like, I try to go over there. She be like, I'm like, oh yeah. So if she get hit by a car,
It's on her.
I got to explain that she wanted this.
But do you know that you would look like less than a gentleman from the naked eye? People seeing you walking down the street.
And here's the thing. I'm glad that you said that. People's opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion matters is the person that you're laying in bed next to or the person that's paying your bills.
True.
It's like, if you ain't paying my bills, I don't really care about your opinion. So it's like if somebody in an untrained eye, you need to be on the inside. Hey, brother, she like me on the left. Will y'all go ahead?
And there is a myth about that. I know how you just said that, right? You said that, if she get hit by a car, like, joking or whatever. But that is
And sometimes when
the
we're reversed, I'm on
assumption.
the left.
The assumption is the man is supposed to be on the outer edge of the curb because if a car jumps the curb, you take the hit.
Yeah, that's real.
It's not true.
It's not?
No,
Tell me
it's
more.
actually originated back like in England or Scotland, one of the places over there.
The lands.
Yes. So they used to have horses that used to like drive, like, be, buggies or whatever. And when they would run, like they would shit and then they would kick up shit. And so then if the girl was out there, then she would get hit by the shit. So then the man started walking on the outside. So it's not technically to protect her from a vehicle or anything. It's to protect her from shit.
Can we also avoid horses? Is that possible for them to have done?
Exactly.
Jesus.
But it was a day. It was back before cars.
We got to walk right behind these horses. We can't just wait 2 minutes till they go further.
Well, that's
I get
that's
the
where
point.
it came
But
from.
sheesh.
And so this was my thoughts on it, because I am, like you said, I'm getting better at it. I haven't always been perfect at it.
Yeah.
But not only am I dating a black woman, I'm raising a black woman. So,
Facts.
I make sure that I open the doors. I make sure that, what I'm saying, I don't even like Tony to pump gas. Like, what I'm saying? That's something I'm really,
okay.
really big on. Because one of my homegirls back in the day, her dad had passed, right? And he was, of course, married to her mom for years. And so her and her mama went to the gas station, and so she was like, all right, mom, like, go get the gas, whatever. And her mom just kind of looked at her like, I don't know how to pump gas. And so she was just like, why don't you know how to pump gas? She was like, well, your dad always did that. So she had never pumped gas. And at that moment, I was like, I aspire for my woman to never pump gas.
She didn't have a car before this nigga?
So she started dating this nigga, yeah.
He gave her a life.
That was my biggest thing. But I think that this is a more of a generational thing for younger dudes. But I don't necessarily blame them.
It's not all younger dudes. It's all about your parents. Like,
Right.
your parents, what did they teach you to do? Like, because I know some young cats
and I'm
that are
glad
about that chivalry. I know some older cats. I know older cats who are not about the chivalry. But it's like, we're talking about the gas. I always pumped gas from being a little boy because my mama told me you pump a woman's gas, right?
Right.
And then as I got older and I didn't have no money, I was like, let me pump that gas. The least I can
Nothing
do.
else.
You paying it. Let me pump it.
So I'm glad that you said that
Yeah.
about the parents, because this, and if you haven't watched this whole thing, I know I sent the clip in the docket. Just a black man, I think that you should definitely watch it. It was a conversation on the Joe Budden podcast with him and Kevin Samuels. It's one of the most
I love Kevin. We work
amazing
together.
conversations. So go ahead, start it at that 110 mark for me and listen to what he has to say. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Damn tired of women telling men what we think and what we want.
Instead
We
of
say
listening.
what we want, and you know why this is?
dismiss
Because
it.
80% of us was raised by women, and we are so used to women leading us, they think they own us. Yeah.
He's right.
And they don't.
That's true.
We're the only group of men that demur to our women. Go over to Chinatown and see if this shit happens. Go over to the Middle East. Go ask Mohammed or Ahmed what they don't put up with this mess. We put up with it because we have such an irrational, dysfunctional reverence for women in our culture, because we have a matriarchy to where they try to make us question our own minds.
It's our fault, though.
All right. So what do you think about that? Because you said
Yeah.
it's all about who raised us. Now,
Right.
if the majority of black men were raised by a woman, how would they know how to treat a woman or how to lead like a man? So could we even blame the younger generation? Because it's a theory that I have. I had to realize how ain't shit I was in my life. And I grew up with my dad in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't never see my dad like opening doors or getting my mom flowers.
Really?
I didn't see that. I didn't necessarily see him being mean to her, but I just never seen him do those things that women like. So I can just take
Interesting.
my personal experience, right? So, I grew up in the household with my dad, but I didn't get like pep talks like, this is what you want to do with your woman, da da da.
Yeah.
All of those things. So growing up, I was heavily influenced by rap. When you listen to rap,
Woo,
it's a
90s
very
rap?
Oh my
God.
me so horny and all the type shit. Like,
Explosive.
come on. So, and then if those are our heroes, and these are the people that we look up to, they champion having a bunch of women. Like, I grew up in a neighborhood where it was somehow looked at like as good if you had multiple baby mamas. So if you grow up and you don't necessarily learn it in your home, and then the people that you look to as role models, they're showing you some fuck shit. Can we really blame you for how you end up as a 30 or 35-year-old man who don't know how to treat a woman?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Well, first, to address what Kevin Samuels said. First of all, I have nothing but love for Kevin Samuels.
Likewise,
I agree
likewise.
with a lot of what he said, but just not about the delivery.
Okay.
Here's the thing. The whole women own us thing,
Mhm.
it all boils down to the women that you are dealing with.
Okay.
Because we've seen several women that have to be the lead because they date these guys who don't know how to lead.
True.
There are so many men that are like, I'm the man, I want to do this, but you rather say I'm the man than be the man. When you're a leader, you don't have to go around telling everybody you're a leader. You just lead, right? So in that sense, I grew up in the house. I had both of my parents, but I grew up with my mother, and she never she told me the things that women like, of course, and when I would go be with my dad, I saw the things that my dad would do for my stepmom. But seeing those things, you have to blend those and make your own choice to do whatever.
Okay.
And for me, I saw also my friends date these women that were so aggressive and in control that they simped to their lady because they're with these aggressive women that they don't know how to be the man.
I've simped a time or two.
You're a simp.
I'm not calling me a
I'm
simp,
not
nigga.
saying you're a simp now.
Right. Okay.
You're formerly simpish.
Right.
So
Recovering simp.
you're a recovering simp. I heard you got some
Okay,
amends
you
to
laughed
make.
a little bit too hard over there, Swole Cole. Relax. It was-
He put his hands back.
He did.
So it's like when you're dating these types of women, okay, I've always been fortunate enough to date women that know that I'm the man.
I want to talk. How do you set that down? Because you've been times where you didn't have money, bro. I remember
It's not about money.
I remember when we used to get excited when one of us got $20 and we would go get some Taco
Woo! Go
Bell
get
and
some Taco
split it.
Bell,
I
yeah,
remember
man.
that. So how did you even expel that from your being when you broke as fuck? Because a lot of women will make you feel like you ain't shit if you ain't got no money.
And that's the thing. I was never with women like that. I was always with women that respected me first. If you don't respect somebody, you're not going to respect them whether they got $1 or $1 million. So it never matters how much money you have when you're dealing with a woman and respect comes into play.
Okay.
Tangerine had more money than me for the 8 out of 11 years that we've been together. You understand me? But not once did she ever talk down to me.
Right.
Not once did she ever forget who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was always a mutual
But see,
respect.
with you guys though, I think we're dealing with special cases though, because Tangerine is a special type of woman.
She is.
And this is one thing I don't want to say, I kind of marveled at with you because it was always okay. So I'm gonna just say it the way that I want
Go
to say
ahead.
it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat.
Well, we're friends.
So you used to be out here in the field.
Yeah.
So CT used to have hoes. And this is not. You used to be out
I didn't
here.
have hoes. I
You was
dated
moving
several
around.
women.
So back when I used to see you like in that era,
Yeah.
and then you used to always tell me, you used to be like, man, but when I'm ready to settle down, I'm gonna get ready and get married and get. And it was almost like you to see you go from just being thought T and not CT, but you was thought T, and then go to being a husband. Like, how did you even turn that switch? Because you used to be for the streets for real. So how did you
I used to
even
belong.
how did you even
belong to
turn
the
that
streets.
around and be like, I'm gonna be married and honor my wife? Because that's always it just always puzzled me. How did you do that?
Well, one, I don't want to paint this picture like I'm the perfect man. In my relationship, we are different.
Okay.
Right? And I don't think any one method fits everybody.
Okay.
I think you guys have to decide what works for you guys, and that privacy and that respect is for you guys and you guys yourself.
Right.
I can't say my relationship is perfect for you, neither yours would be for me.
Right.
But I will say, even before Tangerine, I've always dated women who've respected me, and money didn't come into play. I mean, yes, of course, if it's like, oh, hey, look, because I'll be honest, I'm like, look, I ain't got no money. I'm telling you that right now. And every girl would say, oh my God, no guy ever says that. Every guy's always like, yeah, I got bread. We do this. And they find out because they lied. They find out the truth. And then that's another thing that a woman is like, strike, you be lying.
Right.
So if I start off with, listen, I don't have any money, but these are the things that I would like for us to do that would be dope, right? It's typically oh, that's fine. And then it's like, yo, I want to go to the movies.
Thought I told you I didn't have shit.
No, don't worry about it. I got it. You'd be like, I don't like that,
Uh-huh.
but all right, let's go. And then it's like, all right, I'm about to make sure that the next movie date is on me or whatever. It's less about money and it's more about how you guys are in your relationship. So where I did not have money, I made up for other things. I'm an incredible listener. I make sure that I'm solution oriented. I can try to help with things that you would need as a woman that are outside of financial. Which,
See, I got issues with all of those things. I need to find more strengths. Because I be having problems with those. I'm like, listen, I like to talk. Solution, I'm like, bitch, help me. The fuck you
Bitch,
mean
I'll
help you? No, man. But so, my overall thought on it, though, just, I think what needs to happen.
Wait.
Oh,
So to the Kevin.
back to the
So the Kevin part, there are a lot of women who, I get annoyed by this. real man don't do this. Real man need to do that. Because a real man would wake up and take all the money out of his wallet and give it to. Shut the fuck. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No woman can tell any man what a man is supposed to do. I don't care if your daddy did it. I don't care if your uncle did it. I don't care if you're teaching your son to do it. A man comes in many different forms. You're a man. Swole Cole's a man. CT is a man.
Right.
We don't all do things the exact same way. That does not make us less of a man. That means we have different methods about going through things. So there's no, just like I can't tell a woman, a real woman need to be doing this and a woman need to do that. I will sound ridiculous.
True.
So I don't like the aspect of, you can't tell me what a man does and how I'm supposed to be a man. But what I can say is related to that dude earlier who said what chivalry is and is dead. I disagree with that because I happen to be keeping it alive, and I know other dudes that are as well.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I definitely just feel like, with the thing that I find difficult about it, and that's why I'm just so glad that I'm in a relationship I'm in a relationship that I'm happy, because a lot of women, like, they be having just these crazy lists that they want men to have, right? They be like, you got to have this, that you got to be this tall, you got to have this much money. But the fucked up thing about that is they never have that. They can never. A lot of the times they can't mirror a list like that for themselves. So it's just like, how do you have the audacity to say I want all these things when you don't have those things?
B. Simone, shout out to B. Simone.
Shout out B.
She made a video saying something similar.
Okay.
She was like, ladies, we keep asking for, he got to be tall, he got to have abs, he got to have faith, he got to have money. Do you have money? Do you have abs? Do you have faith? And I was like, thank you, because men have been saying this for years, but it takes a woman of notoriety for other women to be like, well, she don't know what she's, because instead of taking that truth, you want to dispute it. You want to go head to head with it.
But how do you ever change the power balance in that? Because I think men everywhere suffer trying to get the woman, and I don't think women go through near of that, because I think it's way easier for a woman to get a man than vice versa. So how do we even change the playing field? Just start having higher expectations for what we accept as men?
No, and here's the thing, and this is what goes to everything that I be saying as far as a lot of men dating these women. I have heard so many horror stories of these guys dating girls that are this way or that way or this way or that way. I've never run into those ladies, and I've never had a problem finding a woman. You know what I mean? Because the women that I attract, the frequency, the energy, and the vibrations that we share are so succinct that I've never had an issue. So yes, I'm married to Tangerine, but I've never not met women in a similar class as her, because it's the energy that I attract. So do you
feel like so it comes down to you attract what you simply are on the inside?
Yeah, it's like, for example, like I keep telling you, man, with the exception of your lady now, you have always attracted these hoes, man, and not
loving these hoes.
They are incredible, beautiful girls. But I keep telling you, bro, the girls that you had chosen before are girls that belong to the streets.
Wait. Does that mean I'm a hoe on the inside?
Yes, and here's the thing.
Nigga, Swole. Wait, I'm a hoe?
How would he know? Yes, yes.
That nigga was like,
you know the funniest thing that you ever told me?
Cole?
You told me something years ago. You were like, yeah, man, you know what's funny? You said it just like this. You know what's funny? A lot of girls think because I'm fat that I won't cheat on them. I'll cheat on you worse than a nigga with the abs. And I was like,
facts. That was the greatest lie the devil ever told. But shit, fat niggas is worse than niggas with abs, because we have been scorned.
You know what I'm saying? So when you said that, I was like, wow. But it's like you attract what you are. So it's like when you see these guys that are super simpy and they get the girls that use them, is because a simp can't find another simp, because she doesn't vibrate on the same frequency.
Cancel each other out?
Yes. You don't think there are girl simps? There are girl simps that are flying dudes out, paying for everything, literally trying to be with them, and they just like,
wait, 5 minutes ago, you ain't just gonna skadooch past that. 5 minutes ago, you just went on a whole soliloquy about how you pay, you take care of your woman, you pay the bills.
I said because
is that simping?
I'm married to her.
I know, but I mean, does it change when you say I do?
Here's the thing. What you're confusing as providing, you're confusing with simping. Simping is always simping if you're leading with your wallet to a girl that you don't know and you're trying to buy her affection. This woman here has been there with me since I was on an air mattress. So when I get the opportunity to pay our rent and buy her a purse, then it's like, here,
so
you
it's because of
this.
the history and all the things you guys have endured. But if you just meet a chick and you're just trying to impress her, that's simping.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take you to blah, blah, blah. What's your name? That's simping.
Hey, man, I've had these things happen before.
But I'm not judging a simp. I'm not judging the simp for doing that. If you got to leave with your wallet because you don't have anything else going on, do it. At the end of the day, you want the box, she want the money. That's a business transaction.
Damn it.
But if I'm talking about with you, you chose the girls before you're present that were belonging to the streets, and I'd be like, yo, man.
But how did I
we could all
always,
date
but
her.
how did I,
You'd be like, no, she's not like that. I'm like, all right.
I guess that there's just more to unpack with that, and I guess we can figure that out. Side note, this should let you know how good this conversation was.
Great conversation.
I had a whole list of stuff on here that we did not talk about.
We got to talk about two things before we go,
okay.
Cole. Bring up the them thing.
Okay.
Was
First
I
of all,
right?
You were not right. You
Tell
were
me why I
wrong
wasn't right.
AF. Did you go watch them? Okay. First of all, there is no way in the world you predicted that ending. I don't care what you say. There is no way you saw that coming. And
How
no
didn't I?
spoilers. Because it wasn't obvious. And I think you should go back because I think
You said it wasn't obvious, but did
was
it
not-
happen?
I didn't see it coming. I was like,
You keep focusing on the seeing it coming.
Okay.
I said, did it happen?
yes, whatever.
Okay, so it happened.
Okay, I think you need to go back and give it a second go round because there's a lot of stuff that I think that you missed. You can't read the first and the last pages of a book and think you know the book, nigga.
But you know what the problem is?
What?
You just told me that I was right. You said there's no way you could have seen it coming.
But-
I said, didn't say, let's talk about seeing it coming. Was I right? You said, yeah. So I was right.
But there is no way that you watched that first episode
Uh-huh.
and knew that what happened in the last episode was going to happen based on what you've seen in that first episode.
But yet
I
it did.
defy to believe that.
You divide to believe a lot. Now, we had this thing where we said we were going to read stuff that people got us messed up. I want to shout out Team CT all day, yes.
Okay.
But I want to shout out the donation.
Oh,
The donation has been showing me love in your YouTube comments since episode 1.
really?
And I appreciate them so much because what I have to deal with these random members of Team CT sometimes, Team CT on Patreon rides for me hard.
Uh-huh.
Team CT on IG rides for me hard.
Mhm.
Team CT on YouTube, 60% of them, actually, it's actually 80% of them ride hard for me. But that 20%,
They be getting at you?
hating, bro.
Really?
I got a comment
Let's hear it.
the other day from someone. I'm not even going to give them the
Don't give
publicity.
them the satisfaction.
The comment reads, "You're kind of an asshole.
Damn.
Looking for opinions and feedback." Because I posted hey guys, how would you feel about if I started a vlog series
Right.
on my YouTube?
Right.
Yes or no?
Nigga.
looking for opinions and feedback. I mean, you're talented and appear to be very intelligent, successful, and work and goal-oriented. I support your content with occasional likes and shares, and I'm aware that the fact you're involved in television as well as writing and production on social media, but still, you're definitely a bit of an a-hole. In fact, I'd venture to wager that you've heard that before. Nonetheless, continued success. I respond.
Continue success,
Continue success.
bitch?
I respond. I say, here's a question. What makes you think I'm an asshole? We've never interacted. You don't know anyone I've had an issue with before, so what are your thoughts? She responds back, good question. I posted on your Facebook page during the Gorilla Glue debacle as a fan of your work. Please be right back with the Gorilla Glue chick ASAP. Your response was, I don't say that, right? Now, those of you guys who know the Gorilla Glue thing, I make videos called I'll Be Back.
Right.
I literally
They're
say,
hilarious.
hey, man, thank you, man. I usually say, hey, man, I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I'll be back.
Right.
I don't say I'll be right back. So I just said, I don't say that, right?
Get
so,
your CT quotes correct, bitch.
so she says,
Oh, this kept going.
She kept going.
Sure.
She says, so since tone has no text, your overall answer boils down to, I'm sorry. So I respond back to her and I say, so since tone has no text, your overall answer boils down to, I don't like that you corrected me saying a catchphrase of yours wrongly. And since you corrected me, you're an asshole. Because that's how I felt.
Clapback season.
And then I said, also, since I feel that sarcasm is assholish, that's another reason. That's a weak explanation to brand someone something so rudely, sis. But
Hit her with the sis.
feel how you want. You're entitled to it. Thanks for watching the content. Continue blessings to you and your family. All right?
Wow.
Because that's all it was. It was, I said a comment that you didn't like back, and now I'm a jerk.
Or
right?
asshole.
And that's so unfortunate because what a lot of us run into when you get a little bit of popularity, apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to defend yourself. You got to take it all on the brunt. Let me tell you something. I'm from Detroit.
God,
Ain't nobody ever gonna talk to me crazy. I don't care
Facts.
who you think I am. I'm going to say something as respectfully, but you don't get to say whatever you want to say to me and keep going.
I think that people forget that us on the other side of this, that we're still regular people, and we're not even at the level that we're aspiring to get to. But I think people feel like just because there's this buffer between the computer screen and you could type some shit that you could just say whatever. But no, it's just like somebody just coming up to you just saying some real shit. So shout out to you. Clap it back. Did she come back after that last one?
She said she tried to say something else. I didn't because Cole right there. I didn't want. All right. So the other thing she said, she says, I provided a bit more context than just that, but okay. And you're so right. A-hole was too far. Apologies. Let me scale it down a touch to jerky. Or maybe obnoxious sometimes.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's better. Either way,
Either
way, I'm confident that this is not news to you, LOL. But this is certainly part of what makes you great. Keep up the good work, and God bless you and your family as well.
I got to say this last thing before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers got to stop saying nice shit and mean shit at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Try to throw some nice shit into mean shit.
God bless you and yours. That's the
That
best.
means fuck you.
God bless you and yours means you kiss my ass. That's what it means. So I then say, this is the last one I say, here's the issue. Comments like this and people like you seem to think that if people like me say anything in defense of themselves, they're a jerk or obnoxious. If I were either, you'd be blocked.
Blocked.
With a T at the end. Instead, I've had a dialogue with you on your mistaken classification of me, which is the opposite of a jerk. There's no need for me to equally offend you or tell you what I know you've been called before or are used to being called. I'll just say thank you so much for watching and comments and continued blessings.
You are never going to out petty CT.
Never.
That was a fucking amazing. Shout out to your clapbacks. And this is the last thing I want to address before we go. We're going to get out of this.
Carpool.
Okay, so we have been here for a little. Now, I want to let you guys know that we do pay attention to the comments. We do respect feedback. So a lot of y'all have been asking for us to make these episodes longer because we didn't get to none of our stuff on the docket. And some of you guys have been asking for a bonus episode a week. So get in the comments. Let us know what you truly would like. Would you like longer episodes? Would you like a second?
We gotta get a call to action.
Call to action?
If y'all want newer episodes, if y'all want a bonus episode, you want the episodes longer, either or. Get the episode on both of our pages to 10K minimum a week.
Okay.
If you get these episodes to 10K a week at the least.
Because they already living at 10K a pop on mine. So he's got to just get them there on yours. And we can.
When I look at the comments on the Doughboy page, I'm like, man, this is dope. I go to mine, I see 5 people. Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That donation is lit because I got 17,000 creeping up on 18.
Yeah.
But these videos be at 18, like 10,000, 13,000.
They are showing, look, the donation is amazing. Team CT is incredible, but the people who love Team CT, be quiet where I deal with people who don't love it that are vocal. So I want these episodes no less than 10 per week.
So
once we
get there, and then we'll try to try out the bonus.
No, because if they do this for us, we'll do it for them. If they get us to 10K on both of our pages each week, we're going to do a 3-week trial period.
3-week trial period.
Then we will give you guys bonus episodes after the 3rd episode.
Come on. There we go. Shout out to you, CT. Always a pleasure, brother. I have been Doughboy.
CT.
And this has been the Just Us Leagues podcast.
It's Justice League. You definitely put the S in there.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Bye.